This is a clip from the Red Cow Arcade podcast.
So indeed, he's released his 200th episode, which curiously was divided into 3 parts. He's released 2. I've seen both parts now at the time of this recording. Have you seen them?
I have seen both of them, correct, yes.
So the concept was that LJN, the game company, has been a meme on that channel on that show for a long time as like, they're shitty games. And oh no, not the rainbow of shit. And I kind of appreciate it.
No, it's a good meme. It's solid classic angry video game nerd. It's a good thing to do for a 200th episode.
Yeah, not a terrible premise, which was in celebration of the nerd, I'm going to review every single LJN game. And so the format will be, if I haven't reviewed it already, I'm going to. And if I have reviewed it already, I will show you a clip. And he's catching a lot of, well, I shouldn't say that. The subreddit is dishing a lot of shit.
The Cinemassacre Truth subreddit, to be specific.
Yes. Although the main Cinemassacre subreddit is starting to just become an amalgamation of Cinemassacre Truth, because it really is like, it's the most vibrant fan community for.
That's where the energy is.
That's where the energy. Well said, EJ. That's where the energy is. They're dogging on him for making a clip show. I don't know. Yes, it does strike me as lazy. But maybe more than that, it's like sitting on the futon and being like, doing rants about conspiracy theories and all that. It's just, like you said, it feels like a very tired joke, like an exhausted fucking joke. Like that Tiny Toons Adventure episode where it's a lame joke comes out. It's like a clown that's got like a cane and he's coughing.
Oh my gosh, it is a lame joke.
That's AVGN now. But I think there was a good concept in there that I'm missing. Maybe part 3 will bring it home. But I don't at all hate the idea that it would be the ultimate troll. Not unlike me helping Justin lose weight. It would be the ultimate troll to acquire LJN and re-release its games.
Yeah, and I thought that was actually a good concept. I thought the execution was like kind of weird. Like it was almost confusing. Where he's like, I have a piece of paper here and it says I own LJN. It's like, it didn't make, I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, it was like a boring like flat shot, and then he was like after a green screen of like, these were my LJN kills, and it was very awkward.
And then you must have seen that on his podcast, his wife made him a cake with 200 on it. It's cute. And so of course the assholes of the assholish variety, they've been, meme. The cake gets different things on it and stuff. Very, very brilliant. But yeah, he then released a new episode of his podcast after he released episode 200 because inside, if you haven't watched the show, yeah, it's like we think that he's saying that he acquired LJN and now he's going to his team is going to develop an NES game, an actual NES game. And it's confusing in episode because it's not linked to any kind of story. Yeah. But then on the podcast, Big Ryan explains that they are going to make a new AVGN video game installment on NES. And
Big Ryan fan, by the way.
Big Ryan fan, BTW. Paren. So I think that's cool. They were kind of going over like I appreciate a lot of the whimsies that they were talking about, like what are their favorite projects that they've ever done for AVGN and for Cinemassacre. And they were saying like they released this big Blu-ray volume where they had empty slots so you could sort of buy the disc and put them in the empty slot. So you'll have a box set even though the show is not complete. I appreciate that sort of thing. They put together a really big AVGN the movie Blu-ray, and despite the fact that movie is really bad, I'm in it for the special features, and they got some pretty good special features on that thing. Horrible commentary track aside, but I appreciate all the little featurettes and that sort of thing. What else were they? This NES game. It's a cute idea. It's not exactly profit chasing, is it? I mean, it's not going to help anybody. It's a very boutique idea.
I found it fairly annoying within the episode, though. Like
within the episode, it made no sense.
Like because he like goes over the computer and like it's like scripted weird, and so he just sounds like angry and rude to this like beta British person, and I'm just like, I don't know if this is comedy.
Yeah, we should dwell on this for another moment. Because I think you're spot on. You're onto something. Like it's like who was inspired to write that sequence of dialogue?
It did, because it didn't feel like he wrote it. So
no.
And then he delivers the lines weird, and then like the guy on the other end just delivers it in like the weird submissive British voice, and then you're just like, I don't know what I'm looking at.
So what your brain takes in is, I think they're promoting something, but I'm not sure what. Or I think this is leading up to a promotion of something.
I thought, I didn't even know. I thought it was just like a gag gone wrong. So if it was leading to something, I didn't know.
But it's edited. You can't go wrong. You edit it out if it went wrong. And wouldn't you also, if you cared about this sort of anniversary 200th episode sort of thing, wouldn't you not split it into 3 shows? Wouldn't you make it just a really big sort of gigantic I mean, maybe if he releases an hour and a half long show, nobody watches it. Maybe that's the concern.
Could be. But I don't want to like rag on this thing too much, because part 2 came out today, and I watched it, and there was quite a few like gags, and I can't even recall the gags, but I chuckled. I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. Some of the things felt more energetic, like more genuine. Every time he like gets to something more genuine is when I start to enjoy him again.
Yeah, mostly making fun of the sports games, because it's true that like there's almost nothing to say about sports games, but he dug a little deeper and was like, well, what do I give a fuck if it's grass or turf?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I actually thought fuck was kind of funny.
Fuck, mother the fuck.
But I think this is true even of his good older episodes and stuff. Marathoning the games, like just kind of rocking through games, is not the best way to deliver this comedy. I think like it works best when you spend time nitpicking or really being frustrated by an aspect of a game or a couple of games, but being like, this one sucks, nothing to say about it though, and moving on to the next one is just boring.
Yeah, and encompassing this whole 200 episode endeavor, it's better when there's like a narrative to the video, and I don't feel like there is a narrative. There's just like things. There's like, oh, there's the beta British guy saying something and he's yelling at him. Here's some shitty games, and here's some clips. Here's some this. I'm in front of a green screen saying these are my kills, which is really awkward. And like it's
some of it feels AI generated.
Yeah, it feels like the cover band stuff where it's just like, this is what the nerd is supposed to do, maybe. And then there are glimmers of genuine, maybe James Rolfe stuff with the sports stuff where I'm like, oh, this could be compelling. So it's just, if I'm gonna dissect a YouTube video, that's what I'm.
Well, it's funny because we've now gained a reputation for doing what we're doing right now, talking about AVGN, and I never really wanted to like deconstruct an episode per se. Like I don't, I obviously think that it's gotten real dry and real tired, and there's not much left to say here. But if it's your thing, it's your thing. It's, I don't care. All I ever wanted to do, EJ, was critique his technical setups. That's all I ever wanted to make fun of, because it's too fucking ridiculous. And I don't want and the time management thing, and then, which he then answered Everybody said, "What's going on with your time management?" And then he was like, "Wait till you see my room." Wait till you see my.
And then he showed you the room, and you're just like, "What's going on?"
So for the first time ever, I had to drill a hole in it, which was surprisingly difficult. This was some really tough 80s wood.
I had to watch it 18 times before my brain recognized it as a real video. Like I thought, like I had it really kind of, it more matched a dream I might have had about, like, I had a dream that James Rolfe was like, "No, I do have time. It's just that there's shit on the ceilings."
And I'll even address a few complaints of the asshole-ish variety.
And I drilled through my childhood desk, and the server was loud, and I had to put it in the other room and pad it.
Like it didn't seem conceivable to me that he would ever acknowledge that subreddit on any level. And so, like, I remember just being glued to it. I was like, he's talking about it. He's addressing the 14,000 strong.
No, it's all fascinating to me. Even just deconstructing what he's doing now. I don't know. It's fascinating. It's fascinating that this whole man, this endeavor, this downfall, this any glimmer of hope. It's all interesting to me.
Well, you know what? So we've received a lot of negative criticism for being like, you're being mean. It's, you know, people don't know quite how to say that sometimes, but a lot of people are like, you're being cruel, you're being dicks, you're being nitpicky.
Yeah, probably.
Well, so here's the question. It's like, yes, if I was talking about like a citizen, a private citizen, which, you know, he is, but he's obviously a celebrity. Then I think I would like hear that out a lot more. But I think we can all agree that there's some relationship between how public of a personality you are and how reasonable it is for people to talk about your work and criticize you and love you or dislike you or whatever. Like, I feel like if you and I every week, like, well, we do, came here and we're like, all right, let's talk about what we do and don't like about Marvel. Nobody would be like, guys, this is real petty now about Marvel.
Yeah. That's the way I see it completely. It's like if Coca-Cola makes a screwed up flavor, I'm going to be like, oh, that's a bad flavor, Coca-Cola. And you're going to be like, that's really mean to Coca-Cola. It's like,
but
no.
But I am sympathetic to the argument that even though he's a pretty huge e-celebrity, it may be quite the same. Like, he still is a guy making shit out of his garage, and it's not quite the same as picking on Robert Downey Jr. or something.
Yeah, but he's getting a lot of help though.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is like you
don't want to beat him up for getting help, guys.
Yeah. What do you want me to do? Suffer?
Do these people not want me to have any help? Do they want me to suffer and do everything myself?
There are channels that are as big as him or bring in as much money as he does that invest a lot heavier in their production equipment and their spaces and all that sort of stuff. And I feel like people wouldn't be so critical if we were critical of those channels. There's something about their presentation that's more legitimate. It's actually sort of his delegitimacy that I think makes people go like, hey, go easy.
Oh,
did you see some genius on the Reddit? Some fucking genius.
Some genius.
Did before and afters of, because the nerd room is now in a garage, and he showed how big the old set was using the same camera setups. You can see how much more space there was before and how little space there is now. And it was pretty fascinating. And it really does kind of like mess with the way you take in the information. Feeling like he has no room in there. Yeah, I'm sure it limits the creativity. He basically admitted that. Yeah. He did admit that. He's like, I can't do as much as I want to do in here.
I do appreciate, like, you can tell they're trying to do some things that are more ambitious. Like, he'll like walk out of the frame and then like sit down. Like, it changes the angles a little bit. Yeah. They're trying to mix it up. It
reminds me of when I was in high school. I took a video class and we did something called the continuity exercise.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. Yes.
Where like, and you know, one of the first things you learn is like, if somebody walks out of frame, then it's much easier to give the illusion of continuity because you don't have to find the exact place where they were last in the shot. And it feels like I'm watching a high school continuity exercise.
Yeah, that is so perfect. some of those shots where they're like, you can see him, he walks out of frame, and it's like it's a little bit slow too, and then he like sits down on the futon like after walking out of the frame. Like, yeah, it's a continuity exercise.
The moment for me in the first part when he was in front of the green screen in like a dungeon.
Yeah.
That was the part where I was like, what the fuck? Like, I don't want to watch this at all. I was like, for the 200th episode, you couldn't like muster up the juice to not do this green screen trash thing.
That's why when I watched the second part alone, where it didn't have that framing device, I actually enjoyed it more because he wasn't like trying to put the framing device on it. But you still got the beta British guy. But
yeah, right, nerd. Yeah, put clocks in there. Yeah. He shouldn't. That guy shouldn't have been in it.
It's getting there. I mean, there's a little bit of sprite flicker.
Like instead of what's bullshit? Instead of the bullshit man, you have the I don't give a fuck man. It's it's a little keyframe animation of James in Final Cut 7, like not giving out shits. Or not giving out fucks. And he's like, you know what I don't give a fuck about? Content. Producing it. I got to do it all the time. And then you got to hire slobs. But nobody likes the slobs. I want to make that video. You want to be famous, EJ? We make that video.
We should. Well, if you need help
and
animating
that's why
it.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
We have to make this now.
Yeah, it would be so easy because you use like stock images from Google Image Search that still have the watermarks on them and stuff, and you just kind of slow zoom on them to like make your point about your hastily written script. So then you got to buy a house for your kids, but the only space you have is a garage. Oh, great. Now I got to rebuild my whole set in a small garage. I'm drilling holes in desks.
My childhood desks.
And now I'm in anti-gravity because the fucking lights are on the ceiling. What the fuck? I don't give a fuck. Yeah. Gotta do it.
We gotta do it.
Gotta take the plunge and make that video. I pretty much have his cadence down.
Yeah, you do. It's uncanny.
It's uncanny. Yeah, that would be really creative.
Well, you put a short clip on the Cinemassacre Truth subreddit, and they loved it. So
why so many shitty games?
My destiny has emerged, and the ultimate reckoning has drawn near.
Oh, cursed me! Why so many shitty games? Cursed to the bowels of hell. God, it's so annoying.
Anyway, yeah, we're mean. So
am I doomed forever to review these games again and again? And then it's the LJN rainbow of shit. It's like beat poetry. It's just
it is.
There's nothing there. It's like we're fucking eating rice cakes.
And we're all snapping after he says it.
Yeah, it's very nice, very nice, very nice.
Yeah, shitty games, yeah.
Big Ryan fan, by the way.
Big Ryan fan.
I think they had floated the idea of doing a chronologically confused about AVGN DVD releases. I think that's a genuinely good idea. They should do that. I think that's the kind of meta I'm looking for from that channel. Because I actually really enjoyed his chronologically confused videos back in the day. And he's caused the same sorts of release problems with his content that he complained about with like Ninja Turtles and stuff. I think that'd be fun. Yeah. And yeah, one of his many mispronunciations is Super Nintendo, where he doesn't enunciate the N. When we posted the clip of what was your favorite console as a kid, everybody said Super Nintendo in the comments. Now I listen for it. If anybody
Oh yeah, during the second part, I've heard Super Nintendo like so many times.
There was another one on Super Nintendo. All right, cool guys. I'm gonna get back to some nerd stuff.
Subscribe to Red Cow Entertainment on Patreon for full episodes every other week.